in this video, I basically share my experience of how I became a UI UX designer here in Lagos, Nigeria, and how I got an international job. I probably won't go into the details of how I got the job. Probably in a different video I'll do that. So let's get right to it. Hi guys, welcome back to the Nook. My name is Grace Mary. Here at the Nook, I provide you with actionable tips that you can use as a creative and you can use in life. So if this is your first time here, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button, because this video is going to provide value to you, and this channel has amazing content that will help you grow. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know it already, you're the real MVP. You are the real MVP. Okay, let's get to it. During the lockdown, I was indoors, of course, a lot of time to introspect and retrospect. And coincidentally, at that time, I was reading a book by Sam Adeyemi. It's called The Parable of Dollars, for anyone who wants to grab it. And basically, in that book, it talked about your savings and your investments and how it influences how you live your life at retirement. So I thought about my life and I said, girl, I don't want to live my life the way the typical Nigerian pensioners live their life, right? When they retire, waiting for their pension at the end of the month, dependent on that wholly and solely. And I thought to myself, what can I do to level up? What can I do that is within the space of my passion and my gifting that I can do to improve my ability to earn? And interestingly, at that time, my sister had called me to say, Grace, I have this interesting idea for you. I think you would like this. And I called her up and I said, oh dear, what's up now? So she was like, oh, okay, I think that you should definitely try out UI UX design. At that time, it was strange to me. I had never heard anything about UI UX design. So I did a bit of research and I'm like, okay, this is definitely something I'll be interested in. And I went online, got 2 free courses. One was on FutureLearn and the other was on Coursera. I'll drop a link in the description box so that you can grab those courses. They were very detailed and interesting, so I did those, and that really helped me to get like a general perspective of what UI UX design is about. So for those of you who are curious what UI UX design is, the UI stands for user interface and the UX stands for user experience. So you can be a UI designer or you could be a UX designer, but most times there is an overlap between the responsibilities of a UI designer and a UX designer. So a UI designer designs interfaces. So for example, most of your banking apps that you see that looks aesthetically pleasing, this is what the UI designer does. So decides where the buttons go, decides the spacing between elements in that interface. But for the UX designer, their role basically focuses more on understanding the user, understanding the user journey, their motivations, and how this might influence features on the app. So the background research about these things are mostly done by the UX designer, and then that informs what we see or what the visual designer, the UI designer rather, does. Going back to my story, it's something that I felt like I was interested in, and I decided to take the journey. So at that point, I was both excited because new things excite me. Learning new things kind of gets me up and going, right? But I was also scared. Put yourself in my shoes. So imagine that you had left your full-time job for fashion, and then you were doing okay, and it seems like your business was picking up, but then all of a sudden you're going to something different, something new, and that feeling of, okay, I have to start from the scratch again, the uncertainty that is associated with that crept in. So yes, although it was an exciting journey, sometimes I was overwhelmed because I was doing my fashion design, and at some point it was Christmas, we had a Christmas rush, I had to do my assignments, couldn't sleep because of course I needed to turn in things, right? And then sometimes I was sick because I was overwhelmed with everything. The thing that got me anxious was the fact that the course was going to cost about 500,000 naira, And given that I invested most of my money into my fashion business, I didn't have like a lot of liquidity in terms of cash, right? So it was something that I was going to pull out all the resources that I had to pay for this program. And for me, it was scary and exciting, but more like I was overwhelmed by the decision I had to make. But in the end, I'm glad that I made that decision. So I had people, so you need people in your corner to kind of constantly stir you up. I had people in my corner who said, Grace, you're good at this. Grace, you can do it. And at the end of the day, I'm making progress, right? I'm making progress and I'm excited about it. But girl, if you want to do this, go for it. I'm telling you, go for it. The most times we say, oh, if I do this, what if this happens? But there's the other question. What if you excel? What if you fly? What if you don't fall? Ask yourself these questions. Another question that would come up would be, how do I become a UI UX designer? So the funny thing is very simple, and it doesn't take a lot of time, but it takes a lot of commitment. So you can be self-taught. So you all you need to do is to look for resources, go to YouTube. There are a lot of resources. You have a lot of free resources, but then the problem with doing this on your own is that you don't know what is important, because over time information changes, how to prioritize information, how to prioritize what to learn. But also there are a lot of free courses. I know that Ingressive for Good, for example, had done free courses for people. So there are a lot of free courses out there. Just keep your eyes and your ear peeled to social media and you would find them. If you can afford it, I would definitely recommend the Google US design course on Coursera. It's might be pricey if you don't finish it fast enough, but it is really good and detailed. So after I did my Accelerator program, I also started the the Google UX design course. There's an opportunity to apply for scholarship on the platform, so you can apply and then they would allow you to do the course for free. So feel free to take advantage of this opportunity. So if you want to go through the other route, which would be Accelerator programs, then there are a lot of opportunities, or there are a lot of Accelerator programs out there. Mine cost about $500,000, and for Nigerian standard it might be expensive, but for international standard it is cheap. So but the good thing is that they have payment plans. I'm not trying to market for anybody, so just I'll drop the link. You can go to their website and find out about their payment plans. That would help you, so you don't have to pay everything up front. They have like income sharing when you get a job, so you don't have to pay a lot initially. But I decided to pay my way off, so that way I don't have to share my income with anyone when I'm done. Personally, if you can afford it, I'll recommend Accelerator programs. So beyond just learning by yourself, it gives you that network. So you have a network of people that you can call, you can ask questions when you feel like you're overwhelmed. You know, you have support, you have a community. So that's why I would definitely recommend Accelerator programs over self-taught means. Another reason I would recommend Accelerator programs is because they have fine-tuned the materials to the important things that you will need. So you're not just consuming random information, you're consuming what you need, and also it is orderly. Like me personally, the way I consume information easily is to have them ordered in like steps, right? Do this first and do that next. So having an Accelerator program really helps, and then you have someone who is your accountability partner, who is monitoring you, and you know that you paid for it. So if you are not meeting up, and of course there are consequences, you will not be able to complete your program. So you would buckle up, right? So that's that.